Hello everybody and welcome back to Space Engineers Intergalactic Survival Expansion. Today we are going to be welding up a whole bunch of stuff. What we're going to do is we're going to finish the roof and then we're going to paint everything. Oh, that was a gun. My bad, guys, my bad. We're going to paint everything, and I do mean everything. Like, everything is all just white, and we need some color. We need some variation in hue and saturation and volume. Have no idea, but we are going to be coloring everything. We have a lot to do today, so let's get going. The next episode is going to be episode 10, and I want to plan something pretty great for that. So we need to stop being lazy and finish up all of our chores before we could do something for our 10th episode. What I'm going to do real quick is I'm going to move these and then clean up this space in here. There we go. That is much better. It really opens up the area a little bit. So yeah, we have a bunch of interior stuff to do. So over here, as you can see, we have some holograms. One for the to-do list, which I will need to update because it's been a few episodes. And then we have our power. So as we can see, total power is not doing well. Oh, stored 100%. So we have full stored power. Okay, we're good. So let's go ahead and start on the roof. Alright, so I just brought the Nova Agma up for a little bit. So I have a bunch of steel plates and interior plates. Hopefully that's enough for up here. So I'm thinking a bunch of docking ports, so then we could move a lot of like ships and like future stuff up here. So it'll be like a big landing pad with, let's say, maybe 4 docking ports just for recharging, unless we want to have inventory access, so that'll be another story. So we could do that, or we can make a giant fan. Let me bring this over real quick. Here soon we might need to leave because it's very glitchy over here. But anyway, we can have like a giant fan, a fan that rotates, and then we'll just have a bunch of catwalks on it, so it looks like it's like in some sort of grid, like gate or something like that. And then this will have some like see-through, but also look like a giant fan, so there will be like more movement and stuff like that. Or it will be giant landing pad, which I'm kind of leaning towards, so we could have like a giant landing pad, something like that. And then over here, we can have a fan over here, and that might work out. So then there's more movement and stuff like that over there. So, yeah. Let's just make a giant platform for landing. So I'm thinking just 4 landing ports. Maybe 5. 1 in the center and then 4. Because then we could have a big one in the middle, or 4 small ships. That might be good. But let me do some more thinking and I'll be right back. Alright, so I'm gonna just make a giant landing pad and then I'll figure out where to put the ports. So I'm gonna do that first. Let's think about this. I'm gonna look into the interior walls again, and we can have pipes like this. So let's start by laying a bunch of these down. A bunch of pipes, and then on the edges, let's see if there's something we could put down. Ooh, how about heat vent? That might look cool. Let's put a heat vent on the edges, and then we'll see how that looks. So I'm not going to rotate the heat vents, I'm just going to put them on the edges. And then now, let's go back here and finish placing all of these pipes. Alright, that is good. So now I want something to wrap around once more. And then we'll get everything welded and then worry about what's in the middle. So let's go ahead with maybe some more interior stuff. So let's look at this. This looks nice. It looks nice, okay? So maybe something like a little dip. That might look really good. So that could look really good. So let's do that. And then for the edges here, I mean, that is pretty close. I mean, that's basically it right there. Alright, so let's continue with building this all out. Sloped corner right here. And then just continue by building more out with this block right here. I really like this block. It goes with the light panels inside above the little circuit room. So I really like this block. And then we just have the corner right there, and then turn this around and continue. Alright, I am all out of interior plate. Let me just build this corner real quick. So now I'm gonna go down there, get some of this plate. I'm gonna build up the rest of that corner over there. And then we will get all of this weld up. And then I'll come back with some more building process. Alright, some more interior plate. And now I just need to grab this instead. And then we'll go out there and weld everything up. So, I will be right back. Alright, we are back. And yes, it looks pretty cool. But also, I'm going to be making some catwalks going through here, perhaps in the middle or something along those lines, just to go in the center. So yeah, we're gonna have 4 connectors, so we could connect up some flying vehicles for like the quote-unquote workers. In the industrial district, there are some workers who park their vehicles up here, and then they go down and work. So let's get some materials. We need some construction components, so I put everything in here. So let's just grab a whole bunch of those. Alright. So now we need a center. So where's the center? Let's count these up and I will be right back. Okay, so I have some unfortunate news. Yeah, I have some unfortunate news. So, because we have this door right here, we kind of had a little bit of a sucking in action. Don't repeat that. So because we have this little door right here, we couldn't go any like further out. So we have 1 catwalk in the center, and then over here we have 2. Because this length is 22 blocks from there to over here, 22 blocks. But then over here is 21. So the center is right here. This is the center right here. So we can only have 1 over there. So that's unfortunate. It really is, but it's fine. We will continue. I'm gonna have to try to figure out a way to connect all of this together. My thoughts were to just have it meet in the middle, and then it'll just be like just a center catwalk. Alright. So that's that right there. It looks pretty good. I'm kind of really liking the roof right now. Just something about it looks pretty cool. But yeah, we are not done yet. So I'm gonna go ahead and grind these off and then get some more power, and then we will continue after that. Alright, so what I'm planning to do now is getting some interior lights. Where's the interior lights? I don't think I have them anymore, so let's get them. So I want the full block variant, like this. I need some steel plates, so let's get some of those real quick. Alright, so let's bring this up so we can have some light. Let's say one right there, one right there. Let's go right here. This looks center enough. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And then over here we'll just turn this around. And then, what does that look like? Yeah. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Let's put 2 of those. And then the same thing will be over here as well. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So now we'll build those up. We'll have some lights on the paths, and then we'll continue by making the landing pad. So I'm gonna get all this welded up, and then I'll be right back. Alright, so we are back. I've welded all the catwalks, I've welded all the lights, and I'm gonna need to edit the lights just to make it to where they can have a much bigger distance. So I'll do that, and we will need lights over here as well. So I am thinking that we will have some lights. I just emptied out my entire inventory over here. Sorry about that. And so what we could do is we could have some lights on the edges, like this, and then like this. So now there is some lights on the edges. And then what we could do as well is to have some other kind of light. Let's look at these. Now, is there any kind of light? If we type lights, then what we have is some lights. This is a light. Right, this is a light. So let's say we want it like this. Let's bring some of those across. Now, do we want that? Do we want that? We might want that. We could add something else over here as well, like maybe some glass or something like that, just so it doesn't look like a big flat wall right here. But I really like this. Wait 1 second. I have brilliant idea. Let's do that same thing. But instead of like this, it will be like this. Now this will bring some extra depth, maybe. So let's build some of that up, and then let's weld that together. That might look good. That might look great, actually. But then that might bring the look to something else. Let's just build this up, and then, yeah, and then we'll see from there. Alright, so I did not get all of it welded up because I ran out of interior plates, but I am thinking of having the outside looking like a little dip down, so it looks like its own little platform area. And then on this side it will have a few more lights, but I'm not sure about this, like, at all. It's either one or the other. It's either this or it's this, but it won't be both at the same time. So I'm really liking this because this has lights going towards the creation, And then there's railing to make sure you're not like falling down, because that looks nice. But also if I do it on this side as well, if I do on this side, that looks nice. That looks great. Instead of just flatness. But then that flatness will be turned into over here. But I guess like painting it differently will probably make it much better. So I'm gonna turn these sideways just so they all match this. And then we'll try to figure out something along these lines. So yeah, I'll get back to you. Okay, so I did some stuff. So I put this connector. Oh no. Oh no. It's okay. So I put this connector over here, right? We are over here. I put this connector down, and then I piped it up to over here. And it is connected all the way down to our storage. So we have another pillar. So yeah, there's that. And then after I connected everything right here, we're going to be able to connect this to other places as well. So we could go, let's say, through here and into this section when we're done with this one. Because I want to do this one first, and then we'll just copy this and bring it over to the other places. But yeah, I'm really liking this so far. I also put these glass panels down, which it looks really cool and all that stuff, but I'm gonna have a tough time trying to paint the inside, so I'm gonna probably just grind it off, paint everything, and then place it and weld it all together again. And then what I did was I added these lights right here on the sides, so it's lighting up some of the pipes, and that looks really good too. So it's not all just dark like over here. It's actually lit up and looking like, ooh, there's pipes there. So that looks really good as well. And so now that we are here, we just need to figure out what to put on these areas. So what I think I'm going to do now is I'm just going to drill out this light right here and then put a pipe going over, just so we could have a capable connector over there as well. And so that is what I'm going to do. Let's get a pipe. One of these straight pipes. So it will be like this. And let's just build that over here. Let's continue till right there. And then we will weld it all together later on. So now with that done, we need to figure out what to actually put here. I'm thinking we will do some of these blast doors, because these might be what we need, because we're gonna have thrusters just blasting downwards to go up. So we want some armor. So we might want to have some of these, maybe as one layer around. Something like that. Maybe it's just some regular light armor blocks. That might be good. Just like that. So let's get all this welded up now. That's gonna eat all of my steel plates. So I'm gonna get a lot of steel plates. I'm gonna weld all this up, and then I'll be right back. Okay, so it looks kind of nice. It actually looks pretty nice, I'm not gonna lie. We're definitely gonna need to paint a whole bunch. But also I'm thinking of changing these around. So there is light armor in a big circle, and then it will be the blast doors in the center. But other than that, it looks pretty good. Otherwise, I'll be eating through so much steel plates, but steel plates is not a big deal. We could always just get more of that. But yeah, other than that, that looks really good. So now I'm going to go ahead and copy this on all the other sides, except for the glass, and then we will get to painting. This is a little over detailed, but it still looks really good. Right over here, I have made myself a ladder because I have fallen. I fell off once while I was trying to get all of these pipes in order. I was grinding and then I just fell down. So things are coming together. Alright, we have created all of them. Now we need to weld everything up. So, we will get all of this done in a little time lapse, so please enjoy. Alright, so we are done, and this looks really good. I really like this. This is a lot of detail, a lot of lights, a lot of pipes, and a lot of stuff. It just looks great. I really like it. I just need to paint everything. Now let's do a little painting Now let's do a little painting time lapse. So let's continue by changing the color of the lights, editing the lights so we could see more, and then we will do color. Alright, so I colored the corners. I made it a little bit of an orange, and I really like that. That looks pretty cool. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to get a color of light of these lights right here. I'll show you guys what I'm going to do. So what I did over here is I just set this color down and then set the blue way down, and then I got this color, and then I turned up the radius. But with this one on the sides, I want it to be a little more blue. I don't want it to be like a dark blue, but maybe like a teal. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to copy all. Gonna go back over here, gonna do copy selected, and then copy all again, just to make sure I'm copying it, and then paste. And now it's gonna get a little bit of a blue color, so I'm gonna do that all the way around. And actually what I think I'm gonna do is, because I think the only blocks I'm using this for is just the rings, so what I could do actually is I could look at this is a inset wall light, and then I could just go over here because this is connected. I'll just access one of these inventories like this. I'll go to the control panel, and then I'll do inset wall light, and there is so much, so I'll just do all of that. Well, I don't think it's gonna paste, so I'm just gonna do all of them manually. So this one was around 7. The color had basically no red and a low green. Probably something like this. I'm also gonna name a group, so it's gonna be light, let's do rings. So I'll just name that group right there. So I could just change all the color all at once. So let's look at that real quick. Now that looks pretty good, but I think the radius is a bit too much, perhaps. So I might change that. Yeah, I might change that. So let's get back to my character. I'll go in here. I'll search light. So there's now light rings. Let's turn the radius down a little bit. And then let's see what that looks like. That looks more controlled. And yeah, I like that a little better. The radius was just making it a little much, but yes, this looks great. Now I'm gonna add these corner lights everywhere, and then I will make it all into a group, and then we will edit the color together. I just ended up doing it. So I put it all on a group, and then I just made it another orange color, and then I was just messing with the blue color. So that looks really good. I really like that. That looks great, and I'm very happy with it. Oh my goodness, that looks cool. I'm gonna take a little quick picture. That was lightning, so that was terrible. I'm gonna take a little quick picture. That is lights on the top. I want lights on the sides as well. I want more lights. Lights, yes. Lights, yes. So I am thinking of having probably just a dark color, and then we wanted yellow for these. This That looks nice. It looks kind of industrial. And then what I could do is I could get these lights to be a dark gray. That looks good. But I also like black, so maybe this section right here can be black. And then that could be brown. But I don't want this to be black, actually. I want this to be like the lightest it can be. Maybe not the lightest it could be, because I'm going to put windows over it. So it's going to darken it up a little bit, but I still want to see some of the design. I think I'll go with the brown. And then I'll do the light gray underneath. And then I'll go back to brown. So I think that could be good. So as the base and everything, I'm going to just paint everything this brown color. The dark brown. And then we'll paint the long line with the dark gray, and we'll do the same with the corner light panels, and then we will do the yellow. So let's get back to painting. And now, that I like. That looks great. I really like that. So now, that is done. Time to get the catwalk. I'm going to get that yellow color. And now I'm going to get a bunch of materials. Let's put that there, 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 and there. And yeah, we will add extra stuff so it doesn't look like just a cube, because this looks too good just to be a cube. So yeah, we're gonna continue with the catwalks. More catwalk. So this has been a really fun project that I get to do. Yeah, unfortunately we made this beautiful piece of art and we're not going to be looking at it for a really long time. Which is unfortunate, you know? Because like once you like put in like some soul into something you're making, you don't really get to look at it a whole lot if you're going to be working on something else. So like that's like the only downside of like making progress, is that when you're really happy with certain types of progress, you're not really going to be seeing it if you're going to work on something else. But that's the whole thing. You get to work on other things and make them look pretty too. And then you could look all around and see all the stuff you're making and be like, dang, that's just my thought. I tend to be super ambitious, and then I'm like, okay, I have so much to do and so little time to do it. And then in the end, you get something like this, where it looks pretty nice. I know we're not done. I know we still need to paint everything, and we're going to add some lights as well. We're going to make it look good just like this. Yeah, I think it might be a little too busy, but still looks pretty good. Still looks pretty good. It stands out. It definitely stands out. It stands out a bit too much. I'm just kind of disappointed that it's just a cube. Like this is just a cube. Like this is a fidget cube. It has the door on one side. It has a slider on the other. And then it has this design, that design, and then up there. It's just a cube, but it's our cube. We love the cube. This might be like a historical monument for us. Just the cube. So we could just have it as the cube. Or I could just spend more time in this section and then just add more so it doesn't look like a cube. I could add more over here. I could add more over here. Maybe not directly in front of this door because that took forever. But I could probably just take this little section down and add more over here. But I'm going to leave that to you guys. If you guys want me to turn this into something other than just a cube, let me know down in the comments. But other than that, we're going to get to painting some more. We're going to paint a bunch. And we're going to add a whole bunch of lights. And all of this is going to look pretty sick. So, yeah, I'm going to take a quick break. I'm going to edit this down and then I'll probably continue this. So we'll look at this again with some fresh eyes. So hopefully I come up with ideas for the sides. So, yeah, wish me luck. Wish me luck. Alright, I am back. I have edited everything down, and I have ran out of time. I need to get this video out, so I'm gonna end it here. So the reason why I haven't been posting recently, if you haven't seen my post, is because I have gotten a job. So that is really nice. So unfortunately, I'm not gonna have a set time for when I post videos. So if you don't want to miss anything, make sure to turn on notifications. And in the next episode, I'm going to work on making things 10 times better. I'm going to work on quality because now I don't have to stress on set schedules. So that is probably a good thing as well. So I'm going to focus on quality. And in the next episode, we're going to get a whole bunch done. So thank you for watching, and I'll see you all next time. Goodbye. Also, things have been really glitchy, so in the next episode, we might just leave.